Click the link below or go straight to MrLocario.com to get your tickets for the Truth About the Game seminar. Space is limited, so get your tickets today. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So I got an email from a subscriber, and the subscriber sent the donation, so thanks for your donation. And remember, guys, if you want to guarantee that your question will be answered, make sure you click the link below and send a donation. So this one says, hey, Mr. Locario, I hope you're doing well. I had a question about a date that I went on last week. I've only been on 2 dates with this girl and met her off of Bumble, where she contacted me first. The first date went great, and we ended up having amazing sex that night, according to her, and she slept over. I tried making another date with her 3 days later on Tuesday for that Wednesday, but she couldn't because she already had plans, so I didn't end up talking to her for about 2 weeks because I went out of town for spring break. She ended up texting me after spring break and asked how my spring break was. I used that opportunity to set the next date a few days in advance. We ended up going miniature golfing and then went to dinner afterwards, which she insisted on paying for, so I let her. In the car, on the way to dinner and on the way back to my place, I played the kind of music I listen to, which is what most people would call screamo. I'm currently the lead singer of a locally well-known rock band where I'm from, so it's part of me, and I love the music I listen to, which is anything in the rock/metal genre. I didn't have the music loud and was still able to talk to her, but she told me that she is a happy person and said that the music I was listening to is depressing. I reframed it and told her that some people consider it depressing, but that others can really relate to the artist and it can be very cathartic and positive. So it just depends on the person. However, when we got back to my place, I let her play her music on Spotify while we had sex, but I told her to play stuff we both liked, so it was a win-win. She spent the night, and the next morning, while we were laying in bed, she told me how intense some of the posters I have in my room are, which are album covers to some metal bands I listen to. Not everything in my room is metal related, and I have a good balance between that and sport related posters and other stuff in my room, but the metal posters that I do have are pretty intense. She left around noon, and I walked her to her car, gave her a kiss, and told her to text me later, and she told me okay. I want to be myself, which I always am around others, and all my friends know me as the rocker/metal guy, but I'm concerned that I'm giving off the impression of a negative and dark person due to some of my musical tastes and the posters that I have in my room. I did not talk about negative stuff on our date, kept the conversation pretty light and fun, and barely talked about myself to remain mysterious, and she told me I was intense, but also super chillax, so she couldn't figure me out. I should also add that she is a Sports Illustrated model, so physically she is smoking, and she gets a lot of attention from other guys, and I'm aware that she is dating other guys, which is fine. I wanted to know if you think that when I go on another date with her, if I do, and just women in general, whether or not I should play that kind of intense music in my car if I feel like it, or whether I should put something softer that we both like. Regardless, at some point, the girls that I date will find out about the harder music I listen to and will either fuck with me or not. But at the same time, I don't want to be pushing women away if I'm coming off as too intense or negative. Also, do you think it would be a good idea to change some of the intense metal posters I have in my room for something else that I like that wouldn't come off as so morbid and dark? I'm into very feminine girls, and I was in a fraternity myself, so I'm into those sorority type girls, but I'm concerned that I will only attract girls that are intense or dark due to my musical taste. Lastly, I haven't heard from her in over a week since our last date. Normally, I would contact the girl once a week to schedule another date if I haven't heard from her, But considering she was the one pursuing me from the beginning, and I told her to text me when I last saw her, I think it's best that I just leave her alone. I feel like contacting her would be the right thing, I feel like contacting her wouldn't be the right thing, especially since she already gets lots of attention from men and wants a challenge. I know if she is still interested, she'll get in contact with me at some point. And so should I just continue to date other women and focus on my purpose first and foremost? What do you think? And thanks for your advice. All right. So this is a very, very good question. Very interesting question, because this brings up the whole idea or the conversation about, should you be who you are, be yourself, or are you going to switch up who you are in order to get women, right? And see, in your situation, right, what happened is that, you got with this girl, y'all smashed, and on the first date, I think you said that it was the first date that y'all went out and y'all, had sex, right? And then you said that she also came back to your house again, and y'all did it again. So y'all had sex twice. Now you were saying like, do you think it's a good idea to change some of the intense metal posters in your room because, you don't want to come off as morbid or dark or whatever, and some of the girls might not be into that and everything like that. And, and you were talking about the music and her sort of saying, the music sounds kind of depressing and all this other stuff. See, what you got to understand is that you got this girl already by being you. You see what I'm saying? So there's no thing where you have to like feel like, I got to switch it up or whatever, because now what it seems like is you're worrying about if she's going to continue to want to see you, right? Because you're saying, should you switch up the stuff in your room? But she came to your house the first time. So, I'm sure she saw it the first time, and then she came back a second time to fuck with you. So even though you had all those posters and they're all intense or whatever, and she's like, this is a certain way, whatever, like that, it doesn't really matter, because she came back to fuck with you because she was feeling you. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, you don't need to switch up who you are to get certain girls. Is certain girls going to be attracted to you or be feeling you based off of who you are? Because this girl, she's into you based off of who you are. Because you were saying that, you think that you might only end up attracting, like girls that are sort of like intense and dark or whatever, because of your intense and dark type of energy with the posters and the music. But you said you attracted this girl who's a Sports Illustrated model. So you said you like more feminine type of chicks, right? And I'm sure she's that feminine type of chick you like. So you've attracted her by you being you. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, the you interacting with this girl came straight from you doing you. You understand? And the thing is, it seems like you like her, meaning you want to continue seeing her. You want to keep making things go down. And the thing is, if you switch up your style just to try to get a girl interested, if she does get interested, then that means you're going to have to keep up that act or keep up that switch up that you did, which is going to be something that you're most likely not going to be able to keep up. And then what's going to happen is that she's going to most likely end up not wanting to fuck with you, because the real you is going to come out at some point, and she wanted the guy that you pretended to be, not who you actually are. So you want to always start and get chicks from the point that, you and her are, or you're interacting with her based off of who you are in the first place. You understand? Because you were saying that she was in a car with you, and you started playing the music, whatever, and she's like, that's kind of depressing. And then she goes back to your house again. She's like, these posters, whatever, and all this other stuff. But the thing is, she's still fucking with you. You understand? And as far as the music goes, you were asking, like, should you play certain types of music? Now, in certain situations, in certain contexts, if you're having sex with a girl and you sort of want to get a girl in the mood, you might not want to play anything too, crazy. Like, so for example, I like, I'm into to rap, you know what I'm saying? And I'm I used to rap back in the day. So if I bring a girl to the crib and I put on some music, I might not necessarily put on rap to set the mood, you know what I'm saying, for the sex. So in that context of, let's say you get another random girl, you might not want to put on some super loud metal music to set the mood of the sexual encounter, right? But that's just more so within that specific context. It's not like saying that, you're sort of being fake by doing that. You just know in this context, this type of music, because you might like other types of music like, R&B or something slow that you can use in that specific context to set the mood. So that's one thing. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to pretend that you don't like rock and roll or metal just to get a girl. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to be in that type of, you don't want to go down that direction. Because again, you want to be able to get a girl based off of who you are, because if you end up really liking this girl, you're going to want to continue to keep seeing her. And the way to continue to keep seeing her is that she needs to be able to be feeling who she met, the guy she, thinks that she's dealing with. And if you sort of switch up and that's not really you, she's going to find out at some point, and that's going to make the situation rocky. Now, as far as you talking about, or you were asking, you were saying that, you haven't heard from her in a week, and should you hit her back up? And, you're saying that, she's probably dating a lot of other dudes, and they're probably hitting her up and all this other stuff. The thing is, you can hit her back up. It doesn't have to be where she's always hitting you up. The fact that you guys already smashed twice, you said she like paid for some of the date at some point. So she seems cooperative. She seems like she's into it. You see what I'm saying? All you need to do is you just need to, keep the situation to where you're not acting or getting to the point where you're seeming needy. That's the only thing. You don't want to get to the point where you're seeming like, you're needy or butthurt that she's not calling you, or like don't text her anything talking about, hey, I haven't heard from you in a week, what's going on? Don't text her any of that type of shit. Just keep the shit cool and smooth and just be like, yo, what's good? What you been up to? Let's get together next week and chill or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? And then, see her response. Also, what I want to say about this too is that a lot of guys have to understand that sometimes certain situations aren't going to be a long-term thing. So meaning you could have got with this girl, everything is cool, and it could just ran its course, with the 2 times y'all smashed and y'all hung out, and that could be it. You understand? She could move on. Other times, you're continuing to deal with a girl, you be with her for a longer period of time. It all depends. So the thing is, you don't want to get so caught up on, I got to make this work for longer because I really like this girl. It's more so, do the things that you need to do as far as you playing the game correctly. Like, let me just hit her up, and set the date, and I'll see her again probably next week, and I'll hit her up and try to set something else to hook up or whatever. Do the things that you're supposed to do, but don't get too bogged down by trying to make it work, or wondering too much, or sitting there saying, hey, I wonder if she's going to call me back or hit me back or whatever. Like, don't worry too much about that. Just do your part, and she has to reciprocate. And then you see if she reciprocates, and then you keep it you keep moving in that direction with her. If let's say, for example, you hit this girl up and she doesn't respond to you, and she's not really trying to get back at you or whatever, you just charge it to the game. You understand? The thing is that, if she's feeling you, she's going to return your call. She's going to hit you up. You're going to see each other again, and then you're going to keep it going in that direction. All right? But just at the end of the day, don't think that you have to switch up your situation to sort of get a chick. So, and the thing is this, there are times where, let's say if you know that a certain chick is a certain type of way or is into a certain type of thing, or you know that she's this type of girl, right? That likes a certain type of guy, if if you want to be on that shit where you pretend to be that dude just to smash, I know a lot of guys who do that. I don't really recommend that shit, but you know, there's guys who will do that type of stuff. But that type of energy is really short-lived, because what you're doing is, and this is kind of like a lot of like even like pickup artist type of like energy, where you're trying to pretend or become what you think she wants in order to get her, which is a short-lived thing, and which is something that, you know, you could probably in certain situations smash. But at the end of the day, if, you know, you're the type of guy who meets this girl and then actually likes her, that's not anything that's going to translate into the long term. And from what I'm reading in this email, you seem like the type of guy who, if you meet a chick that you like, you want to keep seeing her. It seems like you want to keep seeing this girl. So the thing is that at the end of the day, you want to keep that shit extremely authentic, so that if it does happen to where you're feeling her, that she would also be feeling you based off of the fact that you are being real, you're being who you are, and then she can continue to get with that. You feel what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it. Listen, if you guys have any more questions, make sure you click the link below, and I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. Click the link below or go straight to MrLocario.com to get your tickets for the Truth About the Game seminar. Space is limited, so get your tickets today.
Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy-to-follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.